रुद्रो अग्नयो अप्सुयो सदी सुयो रुद्रो विश्वावनादिदेश तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु तमुस्तु हि यस्य सुषुदन वायु विश्वस्य चैति भेषयस्य।
Gupt Kashi, or the hidden Kashi at Biswanath, Assam. This is a place which finds mention in the ancient texts like the Kalika Puran and the Jogini Tantra. A place which would have become a second Kashi. A place where a powerful Asura king, famous for his devotion to God Shiva, as well as his battle with Sri Krishna himself, was associated with. A place of worship which remains submerged for the better part of the year, but the worship continues all the year round. This place in Assam, a land known for natural wonders, but the legends, myths and the history of the place, along with the landmarks and the people, are no less wondrous. Assam itself finds mention in various ancient texts like the Ramayana, the Mahabharata and the Purans as Kamrupa, by which name Assam was known in the olden times. Assam's capital Pragjyotishpur was considered a great seat of knowledge for astrology and astronomy. So it is natural to find various legends, either mythological or historical, in the land and the people. One such legend is that of the Gupt Kashi, or the hidden Kashi at Biswanath, a town on the north bank of the mighty Brahmaputra. The town of Biswanath is located about 205 kilometers to the east of Guwahati if one takes the northern route from Guwahati after crossing the Brahmaputra via Mongoldoe. The town of Biswanath is situated about 7 to 8 kilometers south of Biswanath Saryali at the banks of the Brahmaputra river. The Biswanath Mandir, after which the town has been named, has many tales associated with it. While some are historically correct, some are matters of faith and folklore. It is said that the great Asura king Bana or Banasura, son of Bali and descendant of Prahlada, wanted to build a second Kashi or Varanasi here. Being a great devotee of Lord Shiva, he prayed relentlessly to the god to fulfill his dream. Finally, Lord Shiva appeared and granted his boon and established 1 crore Shivlingas at the place. But the god did not want 2 Kashis at the same time, as it would cause religious chaos, and so Ganesha stole 1 linga and hid it on the other bank, where the Banasura temple was established. Meanwhile, King Banasura, seeking the promised Kashi, found 2 sages, Kaustav and Kumud, sitting in meditation. The distraught king asked the 2 sages, Kutra Kashi, where is Kashi? The 2 sages were angry to be disturbed in their meditation and replied that the king should go west as Kashi is in the west. The king Banasura thought he had been deceived by God Shiva and wanted to sacrifice his life. Seeing this, Shiva himself appeared and cursed Kumud and Kaustav to turn into stones. Before the curse took effect, the 2 sages also cursed that the Kashi created here would remain hidden or Gupt, and thus the name of Gupt Kashi for Biswanath came into being. Sometimes it is also called as Ban Kashi or Ban Varanasi after Banasura. The name Biswanath also comes from the original Kashi Vishwanath. The legendary stone forms of Kumud and Kaustav are named as Dui Muni Hila. While the myths and legends naturally associated with this holy place, there are historical mentions also. The original stone temple at the confluence of Burigang and Brahmaputra was built during the Salastamba dynasty, which ruled during 650 to 990 AD. After them, the Pala dynasty patronized the temple during 990 to 1138 AD. After a historical gap, the powerful aura of the temple caught the attention of the Ahom kings. Swargodeo Pratap Singha, who reigned from 1603 to 1641 AD, instructed Mumai Tamuli Borborua to construct a new temple, as the old stone temple was damaged by lightning. Swargodeo Godadhar Singha also had great faith in the temple, and there are copper plaques mentioning his patronage and the endowments given to the temple by him and the other Ahom kings. Apart from gold, silver and other artifacts donated for the rituals, there are mention of the pujaris, their helpers and other laborers, devadasis, endowments of agricultural land and water bodies for the maintenance of the temple and the people.
Ahom Raja Godadhar Singhai Supratpha নাম লৈ যেতিয়া ৰজা হ'ল 1606 শকত আমাক কন্নৌজৰ পৰা আনি এই মন্দিৰৰ দায়িত্ব পৰিচালনা কৰিবলৈ দিলে আমি সেই 1606 শকৰ পৰা বৰ্তমানলৈকে ধাৰাবাহিকভাৱে এই পূজা সেৱা কৰি আহিছোঁ যেহেতু এখন গুপ্ত কাশী 12 মাহে পূজা হ'ব লাগে সেই কাৰণে আহোম ৰজাই নদীৰ মাজত বিশ্বনাথ থকাৰ কাৰণে আমি সমাহে পূজা কৰিব পাৰিছিলো পৰৱৰ্তী সময়ত তেওঁ এই নদীৰ পাৰত মোৰ পিছফালে যি পুৰণা বিগ্ৰহ দেখিছে হেতু নিৰ্মাণ কৰি উলিয়ালে কিন্তু আধা নিৰ্মাণ কৰোতেই তেওঁ বাবা বিশ্বনাথে সপোন দেখুৱালে যে মোক কিয় প্ৰতিষ্ঠা কৰিব বিচাৰিছ মই স্বয়ম্ভু 14 হাত পশ্চিমলৈ খান্দিছা মই নিজেই আছো ৰজাই পিছদিনা খান্দাই চোৱাত তাতে পীঠ মূৰ্তি পোৱা গ'ল আৰু সেইখন শিৱৰ বাবাৰ বুকুখন বুলি কোৱা হয় সেই দিন ধৰি আজিলৈকে এদিনো বন্ধ নোহোৱাকৈ পূজা সেৱা হৈ আছে
This was done to ensure that regular worship could continue for the well-being of the king, his kingdom and the subjects. Even now, the descendants of the original pujaris are involved in the religious rituals of the Biswanath temple. They solemnly ensure that the rules as laid down by the ancestors are correctly followed to maintain the purity of the god and the temple. They play their roles as the custodians of the royal gifts and also in the maintenance of the temple and its religious traditions.
এইটো ধৰক আমাৰ পৰম্পৰাগতভাৱে মই এটা বৰ্তমান মই কৰিছো মোৰ আগত মোৰ বৰতাই কৰিছিলে খুৰাই কৰিছিলে তাৰ মোৰ দাদাই কৰিছিলে এনেধৰণৰ পৰম্পৰাগতভাৱে চলি আহিছে পূজা পাতলবিলাক
The original temple, as constructed by Swargodeo Pratap Singha, was damaged, after which Swargodeo Pramotta Singha rebuilt the temple with a thapana dole in 1750, but this was submerged by flood waters. In 1774, Swargodeo Lakshmi Singha rebuilt the temple about 200 meters west of the original temple, but this temple was damaged by the invading Man, Burmese, Myanmar forces. Later, the British helped in reconstruction of the temple. The original temple on the stony island at the confluence of Burigang and Brahmaputra has a Swayambhu or natural kunda or pool combined with a linga, and the devotees believe that these have been created by the god himself. The small island contains numerous stones in the shape of lingas, some with carvings of celestial figures, which reflects the divinity of the place.
আমাৰ বিশ্বনাথ অঞ্চলত 3 কিলোমিটাৰ অঞ্চলত ভালুক প্ৰৱেশ কৰিব নোৱাৰে কিয়নো ইয়াত ভালুকৰ মূৰ্তি আছে এই ভালুকৰ মূৰ্তি হ'ল ব্ৰহ্মাৰ পুত্ৰ তেওঁ ইয়াতে স্থাপন হৈ আছে বুলি এটো আমি এই কালিকা পুৰাণৰ পৰাই আছে ভালুকত যদি কেতিয়াবা কাৰোবাৰ কিবা বস্তু হেৰাই কিবা গুৰুত্বপূৰ্ণ বস্তু যদি ঘৰৰ পৰা হেৰাই যায় তেতিয়া হলে তেওঁক এগছ আহি চাকি দিয়ে সাত্বিক মনৰে মাত্ৰ চাকি এগছ জ্বলাই তেওঁক প্ৰণাম কৰি যদি কয় যে মোৰ হেৰুৱা বস্তুটো মই পাব লাগে, ভক্তসকলে সকলোৱে পাইছোঁ বুলি আহি ইয়াত কয়হি।
But the rituals here cannot be carried out throughout the year. As per folklore, on the third day of Bohag, Vaishakha month, the kunda is flooded, and so the last puja of the year is performed on the morning of the second day of Bohag. Only the pujaris and the helpers come on a boat to perform the puja. The temporary structures of the temple is also shifted by the next day, but sometimes the rising water prevents it. After performing the puja, the pujaris take away the symbol of the god to the mainland temple. The sacred symbol is kept fully covered to protect the sanctity of the god from any impurities. The god is then ritually installed at the mainland temple. After this, the god is put on a dola or palanquin and accompanied by the pujaris, musicians and devotees is taken around the town of Biswanath to bless the people. After travelling through the town, the deity is placed at Bhirgaon, which is about 3 miles away.
এইখন হ'ল আহোমৰ পৰম্পৰা ৰক্ষা কৰা এখন দেৱালয়। গদাধৰ সিংহৰ দিনৰ পৰা তেওঁলোকৰ পৰম্পৰা আমি ৰক্ষা কৰি আহিছোঁ। এই আলোৱানখন আহোমৰ পৰম্পৰা। যেতিয়া ৰজাক ক'বলৈ ফুৰিবলৈ যায়, তেতিয়া তেওঁ 3খন আলোৱান তেওঁ লগত লৈ যায়। আৰু বিশ্বনাথ গোসাঁই যেতিয়া ইয়াৰ পৰা বিহুৰ দিনা ওলাই যায় পানী ভঁৰালৰ অভিমুখে, সেইদিনা 7খন লৈ যাবলৈ। এতিয়া ভক্তসকলে মনৰ বাঞ্ছা পূৰণৰ অৰ্থে এই আলোৱানবিলাক দিওঁতে 7খনৰ জেগাত 700 হৈছে। এতিয়াতো 7000 হয়, আমাৰ থ'বলৈ জেগা নাই। সকলোৰে আহি পেলাই সেইদিনা এই আলোৱানখন দান কৰেহি।
After the shifting of the sacred idol on the second day of Bohag, from the next day, the daily puja and other rituals of the River Island Temple are carried out together with the puja at the mainland Biswanath Temple. It stays like this for almost 7 months till the first Purnima in Aghun, Agrahayan month, that is November-December, when the worship at the river island starts again. Here also, the religious and cultural practices have been merged and carried out with the active participation of the local populace from generation to generation. Despite the advent of modernity and the accompanying changes, the people have remained united in their belief and desire to keep the tradition going. For them, the Biswanath Temple will always be an eternal beacon of faith. The name of Biswanath is also invoked to fulfill all their aspirations and to protect them from misfortune. It is this unwavering faith that has kept the legend of Biswanath real and relevant despite the passage of time, the ravages of nature, the annual shifting of the deities, and every other event in its history.